Okay, at least whatever we have. Okay, please read someone English.
It would be better to live in this world by begging them to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoyed will be tainted with blood.
Hmm. So he is so gentle, he also having compassion. Uh, so instead of attacking them, he is ready to become a beggar. He is renounced also. Srila Prabhupada says that is a sign of, his detachment. Arjuna is detached. He is not greedy. He is saying that they are our superiors. But he is saying that everything we enjoy, so this is something that hidden, his consciousness is something here that he's expressing that, we cannot enjoy. Because he is thinking that we have to enjoy. Hmm. So that enjoyment, when we look for our own enjoyment, then it's not bad, but we have to understand what is real enjoyment. So he is expressing his doubt that if they are killed, whom I am going to show? If they are killed, then I will miss them. I will see them that this is my grandfather. He used to be do like this. He is my teacher. He behaved like this. So all of this, like I will be kind of missing them, and I will be regretting that they are gone. Whom I am going to show after that they are gone? Okay, some of the points that we can share here. Yes, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that respectable superiors should never be fought back. That's what I told, because they are always worshipable. And it is a great etiquette that superiors are not to be offered a verbal fight, even if sometimes they are harsh in behavior. So this is what we have to learn from Arjuna, that we understand that sometimes our superiors may be harsh, but still we may protest, but in a proper manner. So I think I also described this, that Arjuna was kind of internally, he was asking and challenging Krishna that will you fight with your own grandfather and teacher? So in verse 5, Arjuna was giving argument based on Arthashastra. Arthashastra means the rules of politics and sociology. But he was ignoring that they were, egregious. That means they have done some very, abominable things. That means undesirable or, kind of crime they have done. So he was ready to, forgive them, because he was, going for the Dharma Shastra argument or religious principles. He was just trying to forgive them. But Krishna will teach something higher principle here. So Srila Prabhupada tells that a teacher is fit to be abandoned. Like the Drona and Bhishma, they were participating with Duryodhana's party. So they, when the Kauravas, they won the gambling match, and then they even won their wife Draupadi, and they wanted to insult her. And everybody of, I think, in this call, I think you are familiar that Lord Krishna saved her. They could not disrobe her. So Draupadi was saved by taking full shelter of Krishna. Krishna supplied unlimited sari. He is so kind. When we take full shelter of Krishna, he will protect us. So what these great teacher and grandfather were doing there, they were simply watching. They did not protest because they were financially maintained by Duryodhana and party. Financially, they were dependent. So when we financially depend on criminals, then we cannot, use our proper judgment. We also become part of that. So they became participant to the crime too. Therefore, Lord Krishna, have to tell Arjuna that although you are, giving good argument, but these guys, they are engaged in bad activities. They have lost their sense of discrimination. Because of that, you can reject them and you can kill them. So now today's verse 6. न चैदद्विद्मा कदरन्न गरयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नु जययु यानेव हत्वा न जिजीवेषांस ते अवस्थिता प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्रः. Okay, please read English.
Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill son of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Thank you. So here is the indecision Arjuna is expressing, right? He is saying, so far he was saying, I don't want to fight. Now he is saying, well, I don't know what to do. Whether I should fight, whether I should not fight. If I fight and kill, then why should I live? So like he is indecisive. Anybody feels like this, that life brings us to this situation that sometimes we don't know what to do. Should I stay in school or get a job? Should I stay in America or go to India? Should I do business? Or simply I should quit everything and go to forest? So many things will come challenging in our life. Challenges come, right? So Arjuna is, thinking about whether to fight or not fight. He is not clear. So he thinks that, I may win. But even if I win the battle, I won't be able to enjoy it because my relatives are killed, right? And he is also thinking that, I may also not win if I fight. So either way, there is no enjoyment. If I win also, there is no enjoyment because nobody is there. All my relatives are gone. And if I win, if I lose, then also, no enjoyment. Whereas, if he decide not to fight, then there is no other option just to become a beggar because he is trained for certain thing. And what that thing is, that he is trained to fight. He is trained to protect the citizens. He is a soldier. He is not a farmer. He is not a technician. He is not a Brahman. He is not a teacher. But what he is? He is a soldier. He is a leader of society. He is a prince. So he is trained to fight and protect the citizens. If he doesn't do that, then the only option will be for him to become beggar, because he doesn't have other skills. So he says, therefore, no enjoyment. So now, Krishna, I don't know what to do. So you can see Arjuna's, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Everybody, please read this. For the time's sake, we are not reading the whole purport here, but eventually we will read those purports also. So I'm just giving the summary of the purport. Srila Prabhupada gives purport of the commentary. Srila Prabhupada says that Arjuna is a great devotee of the Lord. He is a great devotee of the Lord. He is a friend of the Lord. He is a relative of the Lord. So he has faith in the words of Sri Krishna. So now that's why he is expressing his doubt. He is highly enlightened. He has complete control over his mind and senses. Why do we say? On one hand, we are saying, oh, he is depressed. But now we are saying, okay, he has complete control over his mind senses. How? Because he is not agitated by injustice. He has patience. He's saying, yes, they have done something bad, but why should I fight? I can excuse them. So this is how he's controlling his mind and senses. He's not agitated, even there is a challenging situation. We may say like we are sadhu, but until somebody attacks us, we can show that we can start immediately fighting. But Arjuna is not doing that. Another sign is that he is ready to beg. So he is detached also. He is not attached to kingdom. He is not attached to opulence. He is ready to excuse them and go away and beg. So because of all of these reasons, Srila Prabhupada tells that these qualities make Arjuna to be eligible to be liberated. These qualities help him eligible, fit for liberation. Srila Prabhupada says that unless our senses are not controlled, we cannot gain the knowledge. And when we don't get the knowledge, we cannot get liberated. So, to get liberation from this material world, from the anxieties, from birth, death, old age, and disease that we discussed in the 8-week modules of science of self-realization, that we are all suffering in this material world because of our own body and mind, because of other living entities, because of the natural calamities. Now there is economic problem, economic crisis, medical problem. We have depression, anxieties. We have all kind of problems. So we are suffering. So we have to get ourselves liberated from this cycle of birth and death, which is sandwiched with disease and old age. And to start planning for liberation is to start with sense control. So Arjuna's senses are controlled, therefore he can understand the knowledge, right? And then because he can get the knowledge, he can apply the knowledge. The knowledge itself will not give liberation, but one has to apply the knowledge, and then one can get liberation. So now the most important verse in this section. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prikshami tvam dharma samudha cheta yashreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyam teham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Shishyam teham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Very, very, very important verse. So this, can you read someone?
Now,
Okay, Sachin, go ahead. Okay, Mataji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Mataji, please go ahead.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of misery weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Thank you. So now he has expressed his doubt. So far he was saying that, this is not good, that is not good. If they die, then our culture will be lost. All of these arguments are very varied arguments. And we have gone through all these verses, and Arjuna is not able to decide. So he is expressing his confusion to Krishna. Not only expressing, he is saying that now I am your disciple. So he is surrendering to Krishna, accepting Krishna as Guru now. I am a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. So unless we accept Krishna's instruction, unless we express this our heart to Krishna or representative of Krishna, we cannot get any knowledge. So this is the first requirement, that we have to, very simple hearted, and we have to open our heart. We have to express our, problem and share, so that a solution can be given. When we visit a doctor, then we have to tell what kind of problem we are facing. We have to tell that I'm getting headache, I'm getting runny nose, or whatever, coughing, whatever is going on. So some symptom we have to express. And then the doctor will do further diagnosis. So we have to express this to a spiritual master, the spiritual doctor. We have to approach a spiritual doctor and get a counseling. How? We have to soul surrender. That means we have to be ready to hear. Instead of giving our own argument, we have to ready to hear. So this is the turning point in this Bhagavad Gita. After this, Lord Krishna will start giving the knowledge. So next verse is also related. So in this purport of this verse, Srila Prabhupada says, one has to approach a bona fide spiritual master. That means the one who is a representative of Krishna, who is getting the knowledge coming down in disciplic succession from Krishna. So we have to approach them. One should not argue that, Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. I will surrender to Krishna. I don't want to surrender to anybody. But Krishna is giving his knowledge to us, which is recorded in Bhagavad Gita, that we can get this knowledge. And we can also approach a spiritual master who is thoroughly conversant with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we can approach those who are perfected souls. A person with a bona fide spiritual master is supposed to know everything. So we can know everything. That means we can know essential thing in our life to conduct our life properly. Therefore, we need to have bona fide spiritual master, because they have seen the truth. In chapter 4, verse 34, Lord Krishna will tell that you have to approach a spiritual master, submit to them, ask them sincere questions with humility, and render service to them. When they are pleased, they will impart you knowledge by which you can understand the spiritual knowledge, and you can move on the path of spiritual perfection or liberation. So one should approach a spiritual master. That's what Srila Prabhupada tells us. If you read the purport, there are many things described by Srila Prabhupada, that this material world is like a forest fire. That, without knowing, without intentionally causing fire, just by the friction, the forest fire happens. Similarly, we are all peaceful, and suddenly this coronavirus has come. The whole world is shut down now. There is a chaos, there is a confusion, arguing and accusing each other. Oh, somebody had made this, somebody had created this, somebody is using this as a bioweapon, somebody is like an economic weapon, all kind of this fight is going on, right? It's like a forest fire set. Sansara dawana ravlita loka. So you see in the morning, this sansara, this world is like a dawana, like a forest fire. So we are getting into the miserable situations, perplexities. It comes without wanting. So man in material perplexity, Srila Prabhupada gives that one who does not understand the problems of life is the person in material perplexity. Material confusion means if you don't understand the problem of life. The problem of life is that we are in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. That's what we discussed in our Science of Self-Realization module. So when we don't understand the real problem of life, we don't want to get a solution also. We have to understand that we are suffering in this material world. We're suffering because we took birth in the material world. Because once we get the birth, we cannot avoid old age and death, and then disease also definitely will come. Right from the birth, so many diseases come. Now you need to get so many kind of vaccination. Immediately you come out from the womb. So, Karpanya dosha. Arjuna uses the Karpanya dosha. I have miserly weakness, my dear Krishna. Because of that, I cannot decide what to do. So, who is miser? Srila Prabhupada will tell us in this purport that miser is the one, miser means who does not utilize the wealth, not used for anything. Just keep the money, don't use in anything, neither for self nor for the welfare of others. That is a miser. So the miser means we have got the human body, which is the most valuable, because in human form only we have intelligence, to read this Bhagavad Gita. Animals cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. They cannot go to school. So we have a higher facility given to us by God, given to us by Krishna. So we have to use this human body, because after going through the evolutionary cycle of 8,400,000 forms of different life material bodies, we have come to the peak of the most advanced stage of material body, and that is human body. And therefore we have to utilize this to not degrade further in this vicious cycle of birth, death, old age, disease, and keep suffering because of the different situations in this material world. But we have to utilize the time and resources we have, the intelligence we have got, without wasting it. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada explains also that the disease, skin disease of this material world is that thinking that I can protect my family members, or my family members will protect me. Nowadays we see like, who is protecting who? Once I got COVID, my family member cannot go with me. Doctors are helpless. People are just dying alone. We can very vividly see this. Nobody can protect nobody. Only Krishna can protect. So a miser does not utilize the the time and intelligence and the resources of the human body. On the other hand, Brahmana, the reverse or the opposite of Kripana is Brahmana, broad-minded person, intelligent person, who can utilize the human body to solve all problems of life. Okay. So in this we can see that, Arjuna is accepting Krishna as a surrendered soul. So he is giving us a good example here. He is surrendering to Krishna as a person. I am your disciple, I am so surrendered to you. But there are some academic scholars, they translate this Bhagavad Gita and they say that, Arjuna has to surrender to some impersonal spiritual thing inside Krishna's body. Because they don't know that there is no difference between Krishna's body and soul. Krishna's body is transcendental, Krishna's soul is transcendental. There is no difference between Krishna's form and Krishna's name, Krishna's activities. All of Krishna's, everything about Krishna is transcendental, nothing material there. So it is defeated. This argument by mundane scholars is being defeated by Srila Prabhupada, who helps us that we have to accept Krishna as person Bhagwan. Krishna's body is not like us. So in this, up to this verse, we have to understand that to gain the knowledge, we have to stop serving God as advisor. That means we have to stop arguing and giving advice, behaving like a learned man, because Krishna says, right, in second verse that you are, pragyavadas, you are, acting like a pandita, but actually, you are just lamenting for the body. You are trying to save the jacket of the people. So he was giving argument and he surrendered. So the lesson we get from this section up to verse 7, and then we can continue later on. I think we should stop here today. It's already 1 hour. That we should stop advising God, but we should open our heart and ready to hear what Krishna has to say. Okay, we have to cooperate with God's plan because we are not the controller. We are the cooperator in God's plan. So we have to seek advice. Please advise me what is my duty. And then whatever the instruction comes to us, we have to act. So thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Any question?
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Any question or discussion, or you are ready to leave, or?
Next class is tomorrow.
Next Sunday?
Thank you. Thank you. Hare
Prabhuji
Krishna.
from
Thank you.
Yeah, please read up to this verse, and next time we'll cover verse 8 onwards, and we'll move to section 2.
Hare Krishna.
I see you joining in the middle. I don't remember that you were in the beginning.
Prabhuji, me?
Oh, I think Sangeeta was there, right? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Aditya, do you have any question?
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna.
No, sir. I don't have any question.
Okay, so next time I'm going to ask you question then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Whatever you have learned, please read from up to this verse 7.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sangeeta Mataji, you were there from the beginning in this call. Sorry, did you introduce yourself? Okay, that's fine. Sachin, do you have any question?
Yes, Prabhuji. I have this not this contextual question, but this doubt when I was query actually when I was reading Bhagavatam that day, Gita day. So there were many verses which I could not understand actually.
Okay, yeah, there are many things we don't understand. So is there anything particular that you have a question? We can take one now.
Okay, so I get confused. Like when he preaches, when he talks about the meditation way, when the sadhak has to isolate himself and do the meditation, and then also, as you said yesterday, is but there's a Harinam Sankirtan. So that both two, the different chapters, but then how they come together. But still, he tells sometimes he tells that they are all the same. So how it's it's a little confusing.
Krishna does not say it is all same. Krishna tells about different yoga systems. We will come to the section in chapter 6, and we will discuss about the yoga ladder. There are different types of yogas. They're all like a ladder, and each yoga, if you stuck into certain step, then you are called that kind of. Suppose you are in a karma yoga step, then you are called karma yogi. You're stuck there, you don't move.
Yeah.
If you are in a jnana yoga step, then you are jnana yogi, stuck there. But you keep moving, and the topmost step of that ladder is bhakti yoga. Okay. So it is a progressive stage. Krishna gives chance to everybody depending on their psychophysical nature. But if you have a copy of Bhagavad Gita, please read the preface of Bhagavad Gita. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
When you read the preface of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada will tell what is the mood of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, this book is entitled Bhagavad Gita as it is. So why as it is, you will understand in preface of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
So kindly read preface of Bhagavad Gita.
So I had this experience yesterday. I was trying to, tell Bhagavad Gita to non-devotees, and I got pushed back.
Yes. So we have to share only, which is, which we are thoroughly understood, and also we have to, share something to those who are interested to hear.
Yeah.
Because people are not ready, because you saw, we discussed today, the sense control, then knowledge, then liberation. So like if I am not ready to hear from you, if I'm not in tuned with you, if I am in a different frequency than you, then although my ear is getting the sound vibration, I'm rejecting everything that you have to say.
Yes.
So that is not a favorable, transmission of knowledge. So for that, we have to find a suitable, candidate who is inquisitive, who is friendly to us, who is willing to listen to us. Then we can share something.
So as Prabhupada told, like the divine experiences they say that it's a habit of human being to fool themselves, and that is what it is. So I was just uh, very perplexed by what they were saying.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And I get your point. It's a very important point that we need to go step by step. And yes, very rightly you said, we reject if we don't understand. And even between, when I am listening to you or we are listening to somebody, then also